In order for the furthest flight to be possible, the body of the plane needs to be more dense and shorter in length than the wings and wingspan. You can see that the different sizes and surface areas of each plane will affect how far each plane is able to travel. By finding the average distance of each plane, it proves that 1 out of the 3 planes is able to travel the farthest distance. By looking at the chart, we believe that plane 2 travels the farthest distance over time. When we calculated the average, we can confirm this to be true. Multiple trials had to take place because of different factors such as resistance and thrust, all related to human error. The average gave us a more accurate result. Thrust is a main factor that we need to consider in each trial. This science principle can be changed by who is throwing the plane. We had one person fly each plane in each trial so that any chance of human error was at a minimum. Drag was another science principle that we found very relevant in our investigation. When looking at surface areas of our planes, we found that the more surface area created more drag, which led to plane 3 getting caught by air resistance and either not going very far or by even going backwards. One thing we really didn't originally focus on was the weight of the paper airplane. The density of the planes affected the distance as well. With a denser body, the plane had more weight to carry it a further distance, whereas a plane with less density had nothing to help it move through the air. The second airplane flew the furthest because it had a denser body and larger wingspan, which meant that the surface area led to less drag and allowed it to fly further with the same amount of thrust as the other 2 planes. A common misconception that students have about objects that have the ability to fly is that students do not always identify a force to account for falling objects. They tend to believe that objects just fall naturally, or that the person who may have thrown the object made the object fall in some way. Some other assumptions that students tend to make is that just because an object is heavier, it will automatically fall to the ground faster because the heavier the object accelerates due to gravity. As students get older, they begin to understand the concept of what gravity is, but sometimes tend to only think gravity works with heavier objects. Naturally, some students will not understand gravity as a force as well. Once again, they commonly misunderstand that the force and gravity play into how long a paper airplane can actually fly.